Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel 22 Yard Secrets. I also have Adi Ashwin from MCG. Hey, Ashwin, thanks a lot for making it much more special. And of course, Bazkee. Vaidy and Junior would join us any minute. They are also caught up with something. But quickly, hey, guys, today it is going to be a wonderful opportunity for all of us to relive the moments. Uh, a great win series down under Border Gavaskar Trophy, a young Indian team, a new leader, and a wonderful core group has achieved results where no cricket pundits, none of the panelists, anyone gave a chance to this team, and they really made it very, very sweet. Definitely, it hasn't sunk in. People might think, it is 4 days or 5 days down the line. Some are already talking about IPL, India England series. All those can wait. And, I really want to relive those moments with you guys today. It's going to be a bit interesting, so I have some surprises which I'm going to throw it to you guys in the sense with respect to MCG, SCG, GABA. I'm going to actually give some key moments to you, and you guys need to rank them. Okay, let's see whether the people who are actually viewing the channel, they are also, if they are interested, they can post in their comments, and we will go ahead and publish that for the audience. Okay. Um, so before starting into that, a quick take 2 minutes, but then please voice out your initial thought process after India pulled off a great series victory. Adi, you want to start?
Yeah, I think no. Last time I felt like this, it was after the 2011 World Cup. So
Okay.
that kind of the elongated feeling is there, right? It's
Yeah.
like having a fantastic dish in some Italian restaurant. It's like you're still simmering. I'm still tasting the pasta. I'm still smelling all the garnishes,
Okay.
and it really helps that world over there's an approval for this victory. நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஜெனரலா இந்தியா வின் பண்ணா okay, people are appreciative, but
Yeah.
now it's like I saw West Indian media discussing this. I saw
Yeah.
Australian media discussing this. English media, they are all gone in a tizzy right now. And the way Australia wrote an open letter, Cricket Australia wrote an open letter. They don't do stuff like that to
Yeah.
India, saying the very what the whole series, right? The way it ended also, it's so beautifully yeah, constructed the whole thing. So it became
Yeah.
more than match to remember. It became kind
Okay.
of a memory which will last for us for a lifetime, and which we can tell our grandchildren that we were part of this history. And then Ashwin Mari Atkalla, they were there in Australia, so it's even more amazing. So you're right there. So this is
Okay.
something we can all tell our children, grandchildren, and that's why I think, and also because of the COVID and the context, and we had such a terrible year 2020, and so much
Yeah.
strife and difficulty and all those things, mental pressure, players in the bubble.
Yeah.
இது வந்து kind of the whole series mirrored life in general. Yeah, when you come out of the odds, when you fight
Correct.
against everything that is going wrong against you, no one is giving you a chance. You are being ruled out. இது வந்து இந்த ராக்கி பால்போவா படம் மாதிரி இருந்துச்சு the whole thing. And that's why we are still talking about. I'm still not recovered. Like நீங்க சொன்ன மாதிரி, I haven't moved
Yeah.
on to IPL. Someone tells me, I find it so frivolous right now. Seems very silly. Somebody saying this player, that player. எனக்கு வந்து ரொம்ப காமெடியா இருக்கு. நான் வந்து hey, like we are talking about the men's game and the women's game right now. Don't talk about children's game right now. அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கு. Yeah. So yeah, amazing.
Good.
I'm still like, I'm reading, writing. I'm just like soaking into it.
Awesome. Let's Ash from MCG. Your views,
Yeah.
initial views
Uh,
after India won the series.
First of all,
Yeah.
to all the viewers, apologies if you can hear a little bit of the background noise. I just thought, I'll come to the place where the turnaround started, right? I mean, MCG is the place where the turnaround started. And like Adi mentioned, the feeling is still surreal. It still hasn't sunk in. I mean, I was lucky enough to come and watch the Boxing Day Test match in 2018, 2019, and that was an amazing victory. I was there on day one, day two, and on I think it was day four when they won. I was
Yeah.
there as well when they wrapped it up, and it was amazing. But then this victory is nothing compared to that, in the sense that just all the odds that were surmounting the team, and the
Yeah.
fact that they had to go through so many injuries, and everything, and not easy being in quarantine, being away from your family, that to in a foreign country, and from some of the videos that Ashwin has just released, this Kuti Story
Wow.
series. You can see a lot of the even within quarantine, how they found it a lot difficult, being in the
Yeah.
same bubble but being treated a little differently and stuff like that. So to have overcome all of that and to
Right.
come and win a series 2-1, and not just 1-1 draw and you retain the Border Gavaskar, but actually win the trophy. I mean,
Mm.
there are no words to describe it. And I mean, it still is sinking in, and definitely I'm having withdrawal symptoms, because every day morning I wake up at like 10:30, not wake up at 10:30, but then sit in front of the TV at around 10:10:30, and there's no test match to watch. So I am eagerly waiting for the England series to get kick-started, so that it will kind
Yeah.
of help this feeling sink in, that yes, the series is done, we have actually won it, and now we are moving on to the next battle.
Fantastic. Thanks for your views. Bazkee, go on.
Yeah, it's a win for ages, Prati. I'm still, I am also still thinking about the win, because last time I felt
Yeah.
about this was somewhere close to 2003 when Rahul Dravid finally hit the
Correct.
winning run. I felt really, really over the moon, saying that first time we won in Australia, then 2001 where
Yeah.
we came back in the odds. Also, it's like all these series were closer to, like, it came from against the odds, underdogs, Murray, we are against the odds, walls against the back. Similarly,
Correct.
93 World Cup. But for me personally, I feel this win is over and above each and everything, whatever you mentioned. As Asha Bogle mentioned some time back, two key
Okay.
top two moments now, 1983 World Cup, similar kind of a underdog moment for us.
Yeah.
Against nobody gave a chance, we came through, and this is another one. So slightly, I'll give this Australian win series slightly above 93 World Cup. But yes,
Fantastic.
like many people, it's not sunk in. Other day, same day, I was a budget meeting, was in the middle of the budget meeting. After that, my presentation was done, I'm watching the score. We are
Did you
celebrating in the
present
budget
this
meeting, saying
numbers
this.
there?
Yeah. Hopefully, I didn't mess up the numbers there in the meeting. But after that, I came through good. So it was feeling good. I came back home, look at all the winning runs again and again, looked at each and every tweet, every
Yeah.
YouTube video, who made what. And yesterday, and the very next day, Asha Bogle, 37-minute video for absolutely
Fantastic.
every
Yeah.
தமிழ்ல சொன்னா ருசிச்சு நல்லா ருசிச்சு சொன்ன வார்த்தைங்க எல்லாமே ஹர்ஷா போக்லே எப்படி வின் எப்படி ரசிச்சு ருசிச்சு சொன்ன வார்த்தைங்க. ஸோ ஐ லவ் தட் வீடியோ. ஸோ ஸ்டில்
Yeah.
சங்கேன் இந்த வின்னை பத்தி இன்னொரு 10-15 வருஷம் பேசலாம். நிறைய நான் பேசினே இருக்கலாம். இந்த வின் இப்படி ஜெயிச்சோம். So absolutely
Awesome.
super win. I'm so happy. I'm proud to say that I got slapped because I was one of the guys in the panel to say that 4-0, 2-1, 3-1 to Australia. என் கூட இன்னொரு நண்பர் கிரீன் பேகி கேப்லாம் காமிச்சாரு. எல்லாருக்கும் அரை கொடுத்தான். அப்படி மண்டையில போட்டு அது மாதிரி. So that's it. So
Awesome. Vaidy, I know you have been, with us, in the initial phase, and your newborn baby was also there. So we missed your insights halfway through, but I know you would have definitely followed the series close enough, man. Go ahead and register your viewpoints.
So for
How you
me,
felt
it's
about it?
very so for me it's very clearly simple thing. No, so you are right. My
Yeah.
son was born on the day when we were 36 all out, and just he became a month old when we won the series.
Okay.
Right?
Wow.
A brilliant month for that matter, right?
Yeah.
From where to where is what it looks like. Look, the biggest part of this, the journey in itself is that
Mm.
it's not just about going down under, with such a brilliant comeback, etc. But it's basically
Yeah.
after every match there was one hit for the Indian team, right? After the first match, Kohli uh, had to leave.
Yeah. Correct.
I'm just calling out some of the big ones, but there are many more. But then after the second match, you had Jadeja going out. You had
Yeah.
sorry, you had people not
Injuries one
being
after another. Yeah.
one
Mohammad
after the
Shami
other.
missing out, and then yeah.
Mohamed Sami missing out. Then you had Umesh missing out. There are so many cases where every match we went with a one level depleted side, and
Okay.
and we actually figured out that every match with that one level depleted side we actually did one level better.
Okay.
So that's kind of a big kudos to the team, right?
Yes.
And like what Bazkee was saying, there's so many inside stories about what the dressing room was feeling coming out with Ash's video and all. So when you look at it, it's really really brilliant. And we always keep double guessing about what Kohli and Shastri keep doing. But my respect for Shastri has just gone to a different level after those videos. To be frank, the way he supports the team, the way he understands what needs to be done, how he takes his stand specifically. After losing 36, all out, going into the next match with a stronger bowling attack rather than a stronger batting attack, with Jadeja coming in and all. It's different kind of moves, and everything is to be frank, everything has worked out right as well. But it's also because the team was ready to give their heart and soul to the game for those 3 games, and they have done brilliantly well. So I keep telling people. So you can see a boomerang behind me, right? From Australia. So it's as good as that, right? The best comeback. I'm not talking about the comeback that Kohli did, but I'm talking about the team's comeback in the games there. But yeah, Kohli coming back was also one of the best moments.
Okay. Welcome, Junior. See, before getting into the interesting part, I actually asked the initial thoughts how after this enormous serious victory, when no one gave a chance. Go ahead and register your views, and then I have some interesting things. Please go
Before
on.
that, Junior, haircut, Maratana with Satya Kamal Mari.
Sorry, actually, I was not able to hear what you said.
Haircut,
He's talking about your haircut.
Okay. Okay,
So,
Australia
Junior,
கிடைச்ச மொட்டன் கூட சொல்லிக்கலாம்.
go on, Junior. Your initial
Yeah.
views on the series victory.
Actually, I mean, we already discussed earlier and couple of small parts that we did. I mean, as much as it was surprise for everyone, it was a surprise for me. That too, Gaba happenings were like so unreal. We never thought that we would be able to even go for a draw. 5th day, I was literally going on and checking Brisbane's radar like every 10 to 15 minutes to see if there could be a potential rain coming up. And 4th day, I could see something. I was like, okay, final session, if it is washed out, then probably next day with 50% of rain chance, 2.5 session, we will be able to negate. Other than not a thought. But suddenly, 4th day evening, I started to see 5th day potential rain chances were dropping down. And I was like, okay, now 3 sessions, 98 overs. Oh my God, this team doesn't deserve to give 2-1 to Australia for all the hard-fought victories or session victories that we have had. I did not give myself a chance that this team will go on to draw if we play 3 sessions fully. But going on to win the game, I don't know. It was never in my books for a win on a 5th day Gaba track. It's such a surprise. Maybe Solra Mari, there were no baggages with the youngsters coming in and performing. But Gill and Pantoda contribution is something that you might see once in a century in Solno.
See, I have some Gill, Punt, and all those individual performances. I have sort of packaged it for you guys, so don't worry. We'll come to that. If you have nothing else to say, I'll move on to the next.
Sure, yeah.
All right. Okay. Now it gets interesting, guys. Okay. So I'll pick who will go first, and I'll keep rotating this. Don't mind. Okay. So these are all the key moments which I have actually put in. Okay. MCG. See, Adelaide 36 for 9 debacle. I'm not even including it. The turnaround starts from MCG, right? So I would like this panel to actually rank it for you guys, and then give out the reasons why you feel this is number 1, that is number 2, blah blah blah. As you can see, Ashwin picking up Steve Smith, Rahane's 100, Rahane Jadeja partnership, Siraj Gill wonderful debut, and India's catching. Okay, so Ashwin, would you want to go first?
Yeah, sure, Prashant.
Go ahead and rank it, man.
For me,
You have 2
I would
minutes.
say yes. So I would say that option Ashwin picking Steve Smith and Rahane's 100, I would equally like to put it as one, because obviously we had to ensure that we keep them down to a lower total to ensure that we could actually go ahead and get a first innings lead, considering that they won the toss and they batted. So Steve Smith being one of their
Yeah.
prime batsmen, to get him out for duck, that too. It was like amazing. So that and Rahane century again, for you to get that lead, unless Rahane had not stitched up that century partnership and kind of been the anchor through the innings, this wouldn't have happened, and therefore we wouldn't have been able to get that first innings lead. So I would say those two are my number ones. My number two would be India's catching, because no matter what you do, all the other things, if they had let as many catches as they did in Adelaide, right, there are good chances that the result might have gone against them, or at worst they might have been to somehow again scrap and salvage a draw. So I would put that as my second, and then Rahane Jadeja partnership, of course, it was equally important, but then I think some way or the other, since Rahane kind of batted through, that would have kind of balanced itself out. And Siraj and Gill debut, yes, I would probably say Gill and Siraj both didn't have the amount of impact that they had in the later test matches in Melbourne. So probably in MCG, I would probably rate that the last.
Okay, cool. Junior, you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. So
2 minutes.
before I rate this, a quick point on what happened in the entire series and how things panned out, because I heard Stuart Broad probably speak about what you need to do to win in Australia. There was so much amount of talk about England does not have the pace attack to do things and all those things. But in 2010, they went with almost a similar pace attack and they won 3-1. But the biggest difference was whichever team were able to score those 500s and 600s were the one who were able to go on to win the game. And Broad said, if the batting unit is good enough, then we will be able to go on and win. So I give Ashwin picking up Steve Smith as a number one, because if Steve Smith would have stayed there from the start of the series and had a partnership with Labuschagne, they would have gone on to score 500s and 600s with ease. That would have made Australia the superior team. So to negate this particular batsman who had a history of scoring hundreds for fun against us is something that probably changed the entire course of the series. You said, right, even though he scored on the Sydney ground and all that, he never looked comfortable. There was something playing on back of his mind that Indians have a plan against me. So Ashwin taking him down.
Your number one, and then
number
quickly.
one. And then immediate next would be Siraj and Gill, because I felt without our bowling attacks, Siraj played a big part, and Gill being the opener gave a huge contribution. Third will be Rahane's 100, because it turned a cornerstone for us. And then I would say Rahane and Jadeja's partnership, because that played a vital role. India's catching kind of got negated with whatever Australia did. They dropped 22, we dropped 24. So I would say it evened out. That's why I would say, and probably they lost more important catches than us. So I would say it did not change the entire course of the series.
Awesome. Good. Right. Bazkee, you want to go next?
I would say first Rahane's century, and I want to do a joint top one, which is basically Rahane's century and the partnership of Jadeja. That set the tone for it. To an extent that they feel why slightly Rahane's century is higher, because where he came from, kind of a baggage, 36, and he was Virat Kohli run out. All these things were playing in the mind, and he was under undue immense pressure in terms of taking captain. How to lift this Virat Kohli minus this side. So slightly a high above it. Yes, Rahane century partnership was crucial for us, and Smith, probably decoding Smith to an extent, at least in the first two, Ashwin played a crucial role to it. The leg side trapping, everything he did. So that gives me a rank number 2. And third, very importantly, compared to Adelaide performance in catching, so Melbourne was absolutely refreshing. I would like to give that a 3. And last would be a Siraj Gill. Last would be Siraj Gill. Yeah, Siraj and Gill were probably, who knows, Siraj, by end of the series, he'll be the leader of the attack. But yes, it was last ranking would be Siraj and Gill.
Awesome. Okay. Adi, you want to go next? You guys want to add some points other than the one here mentioned here please feel free. Sorry, I did not give that option to the first three people.
You
Maybe
missed out Rishabh Pant. You missed out Rishabh Pant. Come on.
MCG.
Okay, fine.
என்னப்பா பண்ண MCG-ல?
No. I'll come to that. Adi, you want to please go on.
Now I think people picked it based on importance. I'll pick it based on what gave me a lot of joy as a fan.
Great.
One is, I think, forget MCG. The moment of the whole series was Rahane scoring that 100 actually, because the biggest question that came out of the first test match was Kohli போயாச்சு என்ன பண்ண போறோம். ரஹானே ஃபார்ம்ல இல்ல, அவனே ஃபார்ம்ல இல்ல, அவன் என்னத்த கேப்டன்சி பண்ணி என்ன கிழிக்க போறான், இதான் கேட்டுட்டாங்க இல்லையா. So and the 100 set the tone for the whole team, saying there is a leader out here who will score 100 in one of the most trying conditions. So that set the tone for the whole team. Second, I'll pick Siraj and Gill's debut because that set the tone for the rest of the series. Because you're wondering what you're going to do without the senior pros. When suddenly in the senior pasanga perform பண்ணும்போது, it gave a lift to the whole team actually. And even the seniors are like, okay, these guys are like, the way especially Gill batted, amazing. Like it gave confidence to the whole team. So I'll pick that as a second moment. And Rahane Jadeja's partnership, very crucial. So I'm picking that as third. And Rahane is, I keep saying Rahane. I can't get out of my head. So fourth one, I'll pick Ashwin picking Steve Smith. I'm not putting that high because he already picked him up in SEG. He kind of sorted him out there. Sorry, Adelaide. So I don't rate it avlo high na solla. And India's catching ball, I'll pick Jadeja's run out of Smith actually.
That was in SCG.
Oh, SCG. I keep getting lost. So India's catching. Yeah, I don't think it really improved big time throughout the series. It was okay and okay. It was like on and off. We kept having that, so I'm not rating that highly because like juniors on the very both the sides were down. So Rahan is 100 first for me, and then the rest everything else.
Awesome. But Adi, Jadeja's initial catch to dismiss Matthew Wade happened in MCG. Don't forget. So some connection about Jadeja's fielding, I would still give points to that for you. Okay, Vaidy. Go on.
Okay, I pretty much had very, very similar rating to what Bazkee had, right? Putting the partnership and the century together to top. I would say yes, the century was good. He had 3 or 4 dropped catches, courtesy to Australia, but it was an important century to be, actually setting the tone for the remaining part of the series. But I thought the partnership played a very, very important role because it also called out that, we have gone with one additional bowler and not a additional batsman after the 36 all out. But it came out to be that it's not the case. We have brought in a right kind of a replacement with, strengthening both the bowling and the batting attack with, Jadeja coming in. So that set a very different tone to the Australian bowlers. They thought, okay, the tail is coming out quickly, but which is not the case. So that's the reason I thought that was a very, very crucial partnership. I would rather put it.
Maybe Jadeja is now more a batsman who bowls, right? That's the way we started to use him.
Look, true, but the idea was also that you wanted to strengthen the bowling attack with him coming in with a variety also being there, right? But no one thought that he would actually, now we look at him definitely over the last couple of years. We look at him. I was telling this in one of our shows only, I guess. He has better average than some of the top order batsmen across, right? Even in India, right? So from that perspective, yes, but it sets a tone for the Australians that it's not the tail that they're entering into. So that makes it a big case for the top 2 slots.
Quickly, the other 3 ranks. I have a lot of things.
The other 3 ranks is I would call out Ash. Okay.
Yeah.
Very specifically because with like what Junior was saying, Smith has always played like kids with Indian bowling, right? Even ODI, he had 2 centuries in 60 odd balls, right? Coming after that, of course, they did figure out ways to get him out in Adelaide, but the second test immediately, the third innings to fail for him. It when a team is actually gunning for a victory, they expect one of their top players to actually contribute big. That was not happening. which actually pulls the team back a little. So that makes it a big essence to a large extent. That was the second part. I would then call Siraj Gill, because it should have been an important debut when you look at the bigger scheme of things. When you look at the entire the series, unless they had that confidence of that kind of debut, the remaining part of the series wouldn't have gone that well for them. Simple. So it was an important debut for them. And then finally catching. Look, we are only saying that the catching is good because the previous game it was really bad. Okay, so I wouldn't say it was extraordinary. Yes, they just got what was supposed to be got.
Okay, fair enough.
The Adelaide game was really bad. I would probably I was super pissed off with that. But we're coming to catching here. They caught what they had to catch, but it was not something like extraordinary. But good that when compared to the previous game and compared to Australia, they were doing much better.
Fair enough.
And
Good ones,
just
guys.
adding to what Vaidy was saying, the Jadeja thing was very important, the partnership, because we picked him and then that was a very bold choice and it got vindicated right there, that partnership. Otherwise, and the series would have been derailed and then we would have criticized them, saying,
Correct.
Yeah. Fair enough, guys. Hey, good one. So I think we are done with MCG. We equal the series. And then, we moved on to SCG, and Australia batted first again. And I think the match was slipping away from our hands pretty much throughout the first 2-3 days. But I have actually jotted down these 4 as the important points, which actually brought in a draw result. Again, feel free to add some other points if it is not, but then go ahead and rank these 4. And this time, Adi would start first.
I'll start with Rishabh Pant's counter attack as the number 1, because that changed the dynamics of how Australia wanted to bowl out India, because they didn't expect anyone to come out and attack right there. They would have expected some kind of a Pujara resilience and all those things that they expect. Like nobody expected like this blitzkrieg innings which Pant played, which confused them as a bowling attack, whether to attack India or to actually take back. So I'll start with Rishabh Pant, the most important. Ashwin and Vihari's resilience is what Test cricket is all about. It's one of those stories which you have to preserve it forever. 259 balls or something like that they played, like unbelievable. One man with half a back and one man with one leg actually. So that comes to number 2 for me. And number 2 for me, Pujara's stability comes throughout the series, not just here. Pujara's stability, because you just know how the Australians rate him. The respect the opposition has for him. Like in Podlas, Hazelwood got so sick of him, of Pujara. Like don't discuss about Hazelwood supposedly said that, it seems, to the team, that don't discuss him inside because we are like chasing anyway.
I don't want to see.
மூஞ்சிய காட்டலீங்கன்ற அளவுக்கு காண்டா இருக்காங்க. ஸோ அது வந்து Pujara's stability and Jadeja's is very important, and I will keep it as good as number 3, not 4, because that Steve Smith could have taken the game away to a very high score. That run out was very important. Even though he was bad, he was known to bat with the tail, and he could have taken it completely away. So, and it energized the whole thing, and just the spectacle of watching it as a fan was so amazing. That throw.
Awesome.
So that's how I rank it.
Bazkee, go on.
Prasi, I'll go with the what did you put on 2% resilience. Ash and Ashwin and Vihari or resilience. Chance you cannot even explain it, put it. It's all about Test cricket. During that Kuti story, it is a funny thing came out. Tagore coming and saying that so that was because the kind of resilience that one guy was not able to move his leg, one guy is not able to bend it, and in that thing, that one guy telling that either one end I'll take over the space bowling, another guy spin out. Absolutely, it's like against the one of the against the art stories with that one. Second, I would say Pujara stability. The reason why Stark or Hazelwood were not very effective because of this particular guy. Way he blunted them, way he well left. Way he blended them is like probably they got mentally tired. Only exception was Cummins, who was still coming to us till the last day of the Gabba test. but not these two guys lightly owned out. So that's why I want to give Pujara, because that's where he started it. So
Sure.
Moka Poto
Yeah.
Poto, he made absolutely blend. Third would be Rishabh Pant counter attack, largely because it gave some hope to us. If not
Yeah.
for injuries for Ashton, Virat probably would have gone for the win. That largely was facilitated by Rishabh Pant. Jadeja
Yeah.
brilliant. Sorry, I'm keeping it 4 largely because Smith was at the last point. Ore Raldana is the last man to run out. If there's a 7 down and the brilliance, probably I would have rated up. That's the only reason I'm rating slightly on quarter. But brilliance is brilliance, obviously. Nobody can take that.
Awesome. Ashwin, go on.
Yeah, so Prasi, I think I have a slightly different view, and I think I'm also counting Jadeja's batting in the first innings in SCG as Jadeja's brilliance, right?
Fantastic point.
So
Yeah.
I would
Overall.
probably say that that comes first to me, because had Jadeja not scored those runs, then the deficit would have been too huge for us in the first innings. That
Okay.
Rishabh's counter attack or Ashwin and Vihari's resilience would have still been a little out of bounds. The fact that
Okay.
we were able to at least bring it to that 100-run mark, which would have easily been like 150, 175, it would have changed the entire dynamics of the game. So for me, I would say Jadeja's brilliance includes not only that run out, but his important contribution, and having broken his finger, still he batted through that pain and batted for a little while longer in the first innings before the innings finished. So
Yes.
I would say I would rate that first, and then
Okay.
Rishabh and Ashwin and Vihari's probably Ashwin and Vihari's resilience more, because Rishabh we know that he can do these kind of things. We've already seen it once in England, where he had this amazing partnership with Rahul. And he counter-attacked, and he almost got us a total of close to 430 or something, and we ended up scoring 374 all out or something like that. So we know that he can do this. But then for Ashwin and Vihari, and especially after all the injuries and everything that they had to go through, for them to stay, that was really good. And closely followed by Pant's brilliant knock, the counter-attack. And then I would say Pujara's stability somewhere kind of is there in the mix, and it kind of overshadows or kind of spreads across everything. If you put like a Venn diagram, and if you put everything, no, I think Pujara will be the Venn diagram which kind of encompasses everything, because without him providing that stability, right, pretty much in every innings, any innings that he's come, any test match, he's obviously come and played a lot of balls and blunted the attack. So I would say that so he kind of encompasses all that thing. I wouldn't like to put him anywhere in any specific bracket.
Awesome, Ashwin. Good viewpoints. Vaidy, your turn next.
Okay, fine. So
2
for
minutes.
me, yeah,
Sorry.
got it. So first is Ashwin Vihari resilience, resilience, the way they played really brought in the pure test cricket out, and what we wanted to do specifically for that match. And the way they played was brilliant. Knowing what is not just knowing what is your strength, but both of them knowing what their weakness was and handling the attack accordingly was, really good.
Okay.
Yes, I'll call out Jadeja's brilliance in three steps. That run out was important. It's not just about the ninth wicket, but the timing of that wicket was important, because they had played a few more overs that day. It would have been a very different kind of a discussion after that, when you're going to close the day out and all those stuff, right? So Jadeja's that run out was good, important.
Yeah.
The batting in the first inning, playing with the tail, closing it out was important. At the same time, he also had 4 wickets in the first innings, right? Taking Marnus at 91. Interestingly, except for that match, Lion had scored 20 in every other match.
Yeah.
Okay, so to make sure that you have your, have the opponent's tail also taken off was important from that perspective. So Jadeja's brilliant comes second. The third is Pujara stability. Naako year end vera irukilla, na boss mari pesren paran. What happens is he played all that overs, he had blunted everything. Ana yarume 100 adikala avan. Pavam. Adnala on third place. Illana avana first potirpen. Okay, but having said that, it was actually a brilliant, batting capability that he had shown. Of course, it to an extent where the bowlers had to do something differently. And the 36 all out, what the bowlers actually did was they did only one thing: corridor lo pottu nernaanga. They could not do that in the next few innings. So that was because of Pujara. Then finally you have Rishabh Pant counter attacking. That's how he plays, and it was The only thing that it makes it special is it was needed for the team.
Awesome.
And that actually brought in a different angle to the test cricket or the series itself from that perspective. So that's the way I
Great,
would.
great, awesome, great. Thanks, Junior. Go on.
Okay, so I think I would like to add another point to this. That will be
Yeah.
the fifth point, but that will
Yeah.
become the first for me. That's extraordinary captaincy of Tim Payne and the way he kept wickets. If not for that, I'm sure all these contributions would have gone in vain. He brilliantly contributed. He was the 12th man for Indian team. So I will put that first. And then it will be Jadeja's brilliance for me, because if not for what he has done, we would not have even stayed in the game for the final innings to come for all the Rishabh Pants, Pujaras, and Ashwins and Viharis. So for me, Jadeja's brilliance comes second, and third, I would say probably it's a toss-up between Ashwin, Vihari, and Rishabh Pant. I could not name a third. Rather, I will put both of them in the same brackets, because both their contributions were highly required at that time. If Rishabh did not counter-attack, they would have rolled over us. After Rishabh Pant, if these two did not show the resilience, again the game would have been lost. So I cannot give different weightages for both. And as Vaidy was saying, Pujara's innings kind of came in between all these contributions. So I could not weight that ahead of any of these. So that would unfortunately be the last in my ranking. But I think you cannot count that out too.
Good job, guys. In between, we had a comment from Kishore, who is following this. He said resilience has to be right up there from the entire Indian team for the last 3 tests. No doubts about it. Yeah.
பிரசி இப்படி எல்லாரையும் பிடிச்சி வச்சு அந்த சுமந்த் ராமன் BSNL குஸ் மாதிரி பேச வச்சிட்டீங்களா? Next point. I'm very sorry. Next point.
I have few more. See, entire series has to be covered, guys. So that's okay. Good.
Correct,
as long as you guys are enjoying.
அடுத்த காலர் பாப்போம். Bye.
Actually.
Junior சொன்ன மாதிரி we missed out Tim Payne contribution.
Hey, Tim Payne has to be given the contribution for all 4 tests. Actually, that's the moment of the whole series. It's amazing.
Point. Okay. So I actually put that out in my tweet. Okay. Hashtag live to fight another day. So it was more like SCG draw. And then once the GABA came, I started using the hashtag fight to win. So I was sensing that, this team is up for something. Believe me, that was the scenario. And, the last day, I had a wry smile throughout the day, following it ball by ball, and then saying some magic is going to happen. In fact, all of my tweets, sort of came true. And then I was very glad, one of my prediction came right. Though at the start of the series, I did not do all that right. Now, for you guys, this is a bit different. GABA Brisbane is all about youngsters' performance. So what I have classified here, Siraj 12 wickets, Washington Sundar Thakur partnership, Thakur all-round performance, punts 89 not out, Gills 91. Now, Vaidy, start. Go on.
This is a difficult one. Okay, to be frank, I will put except for what I call Thakur's all-round performance, the other 4 together in top 1. Okay, nothing can be left out here. Simple. I'm super confused on what I can put it on top 1. Look, I'll tell you the reason why. Sundar Washington partnership actually brought us back into the game. 1.
Correct.
Siraj in his 3rd game is leading the attack and takes 12 wickets.
Yes.
You can't. What can you expect from a young guy who just made his debut, now leading the attack and taking 12 wickets? Brilliant. Right? Having said that, Idrendu was super brilliant. At the same time, the last innings, that 89 and 91 actually showed what the youthful, the fearlessness can bring in. Okay, both were actually going for the win. Now, I always wanted India to win that game. I knew that they can, but till it was 60 runs required, I never believed that, to be frank. When Sundar and Pant were playing, when 60 runs was required, that is when I thought, okay, now it is possible. அப்போ கூட ஒரு இட்லி ஊந்தா சுருட்டிடுவாங்க அப்படின்னு தான் ஐ வாஸ் ஸ்டில் திங்கிங். Okay. So I was like, that moment of 89-90 with the thought that they want to win it is next level. Okay. And of course, Thakur's brilliance comes into everything put together here. So Adnala, I did not take it separately, but these four had its own moments and all four were equally important.
Awesome. Good one. Bazkee, go next.
It's tough one, but still, I always felt that Gabala man of the match has to be Thakur. The new guy coming in and chipping in with 7 or 5 odd wickets and scoring some very important runs. I would want to give it to him. So probably, to be very selfish, I want to give Thakur all-round performance as one. And two is Washington Sundar and Thakur partnership, largely because it broke the back of Australia. They never thought that these two guys will come and do something. So it broke the back of Australia, that thing. And Pant and Gill's thing, probably I wanted to keep it as a tight 3, largely because of those ones set the tone for the day. One guy set the tone for the day, one guy finished it. One guy started the day, 91. Where he smashed Mitchell Stark in 1 hour, which set the tone for the day. And another guy, Pant, played his 2020 game towards the end and finished the game off. So one guy started, and the good thing about it is those are youngsters for us who are playing so-called fearless cricket. They've been paid that, so I want to take that. Siraj, yes, leader of the attack. Not to take any credit from him, but compared to these performances, I want to keep among the whatever options I have. Siraj is the last option for me.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead and rank it, guys, because all these 5, with respect to the youngsters' performance, rank top notch. But we are only saying, which one is our favorite here, right? Yeah. Next would be Ashwin. Please go on, Ashwin.
Yeah, Brasi. So for me, I would say more than all this, the most important thing was probably thanks to CA and Tim Payne, because first of all, he said, come to Gabba, that, slits that he made. And then there was a lot of confusion whether the test will actually go ahead, because there was a lot of, COVID cases which had just come into Brisbane. And, if we had stayed at Sydney, maybe this extra motivation, this fire would have not been there. Maybe that, Ashwin not being there and Ashwin and Jadeja missing out and Vihari missing out, all that might have had more of a time. But then all the other external factors which again contributed, right? Probably, lit another fire up everyone's backside, and they're like, what are these people talking about, saying that we are afraid to come there, we'll go there and we'll prove a point. So I probably think that kind of served as a catalyst to bring the team even together. And with respect to all the others, again, like a lot of other people told, honestly, I don't think I can rank anything 1, 2, 3. I think it was just victory for Team India, because that was the one test where I saw everybody, no matter what, because Saini got injured, but then he later came and bowled, half fit. And then he even came out to bat, and at the end he was there when Rishabh Pant hit the winning run. So pretty much anyone was there. Nobody was down and out. Everyone contributed. Nutty playing his first test, I will have to mention. I'm a big fan of Nutty. So he came and performed his role. He didn't seem out of place at all. There were so many edges that he generated which didn't go straight to hand. Or, we had just moved the field placement and it went in an empty, vacant area. And he came and took the important wickets. He got Labuschagne and he got Wade and he got all those breakthroughs in the first inning. So it was a complete performance by India, a complete team performance, which I have not seen the likes in quite some time, because usually it is dominated by 1 or 2 people's individual brilliance, and that leads to a victory for the team. But here I would say the major thing that came out of it is for India to come out with an embarrassment of riches, because now we've got so many youngsters who have been through the tough grind and who have come out the other side successful. That even Bharat Arun was kind of referring to the fact that going forward you will see that we'll be rotating our pace bowlers a lot more, because now we've got a battery of 7 to 8 people. Probably what Australia failed to do, because they were having the same 4 bowlers, so probably when they came to the end of the test they were like really tired, and naturally so you cannot blame them.
So Ashwin, let me ask you this then, okay? Which among the 5 is your favorite? Pick the one.
I would say Washington Sundar and Thakur's partnership, and especially Washington Sundar 6. That Nataraja shot to hit the 6 in the second innings. So because obviously being a Chennai boy, your heart is close to that. So definitely I would say that that partnership, again, it was unexpected, and that was my most favorite moment. Awesome. And having said that, Prasi, I will have to leave now. So thanks so much for the opportunity. I had real fun interacting with all you guys, and hope to do the same during the England series.
I mean, just pan your camera and
Oh, yeah. So I'm here at the MCG. So you can see
Thank
Match
you.
started, cha.
I think the second innings are about to start.
Okay, enjoy.
Hold.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot.
See ya.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you.
See you.
Thank you.
Okay, Adi, your turn.
ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஓகே டிம் பெயின் பட்டு கம்பளம் போட்டு பத்திரிக்கை கொடுக்காம வரவேற்றதுதான் மிச்சம் ஆக்சுவலா வாங்க வாங்க வந்துட்டோம் அது ஒண்ணு. ஸோ கெபட்டோர் அண்ட் ஆல் தட். See, I would rank the fast bowlers' performance at the top because it was an entirely new attack. So number is 1013 versus 13. That's the number you're competing against. And in the Gabbator, first innings they score a ton of runs and that's it. You're buried under the Gabba. So many teams are buried under Sudugad Mari Gabba actually. So நான் சொல்றது வந்து so அந்த bowling attack வந்து அப்படி perform பண்ணது வந்து that set the tone, that gave the belief actually. And then, of course, Sundar and Thakur's partnership that resurrected the batting and it made a match out of it, actually, to give us a chance. And, of course, Pant and Gill's last innings performance is like tremendous. It's one for the ages, one of the greatest performance by anyone. Forget the age bracket, the young, categorize that one of the great heist in the last innings because none of us believed. Like me and Junior were praying for rain the previous night. Chat full இங்க மழை பெய்யுமா அங்க மழை தமிழ்நாடு வேணும் மழை பெய்யும் சொல்லியிருக்காரு. இதெல்லாம் பேசிட்டு இருந்தாங்க. So அதனால வந்து nobody gave a hope. So that Thakur's all-round performance, of course, Thakur comes along with Sundar and all those things. Washington Sundar, again, I'm not even ranking. What Washington Sundar did in the series is like his bowling, his batting, how composed he looks in the crease. He's facing Pat Cummins, and Pat Cummins is the world's best fast bowler right now. So what Washington did that hook six and the punt வந்து நேரல் லைன்ல தலையை தூக்கி அடிச்சது வந்து ரொம்ப அற்புதமா இருந்தது. பயங்கரமா இருந்தது. எதிர்பார்க்கவே இல்லை. So yeah, that's how I don't want to rank any of those things, but I especially call out the youngsters, the 13-wicket bowling attacks performance, because last time West Indies won in 1988, the attack was led by Malcolm Marshall, Patrick Patterson, and Curtly Ambrose. That was the pedigree of the attack.
I think that Walsh was there.
And Walsh was like an afterthought. It just came like Walsh has like 519 wickets. So அதான் சொல்றேன். அது யாருமே ஜெயிச்சதில்ல. ஹான்சி கிரானியா ஜெயிச்சதில்ல. யாருமே ஜெயிச்சது கிடையாதுங்க. We won it. So yeah, that's how I will keep.
Junior, go on.
Okay, so for me, I would rate Thakur's not just all-round performance. I would take Thakur's batting and Rishabh Pant's 89 as the first. The reason being, with Washington Sundar, I mean, at least I had hope that this guy can bat because he has opened the innings for Tamil Nadu and he always looked a proper batsman even in IPL. He's not a pinch hitter. He looked a proper batsman. He had all those techniques. But Thakur, I would say he played like what Philander would do for South Africa whenever they toured in Australia. After the backbone was broken, suddenly this guy will come stand and he will score 150. Australia would have got derailed by that time. So for India, I haven't seen a pace bowler come in and put bat on ball properly against Australian seamers. So for this guy to come and do it, it's like Australia would have thought, geez, who is this guy? We thought this is the tailender who is coming in and he's playing like probably better than our top order players. So correct. So I think that would have broke their confidence a lot. And then Rishabh Pant for 89, why do I put it in the same bracket? We have all seen that Adelaide 2014 and the 300 odd number chase pandrapo, we were probably in the same precarious situation. We needed some 70-80 runs. And then Virat Kohli would just get out. At that time, he scored 140 odd, but not this 80 odd. But by the moment he got out, we would collapse immediately. Probably had Pant got out, the game would have been lost. It's not even a draw. We would have lost it. For the 23-year-old kid to come in and stay there and finish the game, that is something we have never seen. So I could not weigh differently between Thakur and Pant. That will be my first. And I think the rest, with respect to Siraj or Sundar or Natti or Gill, it's almost like everyone turned up and it's total youngsters performance. It showed our bench strength. It showed probably for the first time what IPL could do. It's not test cricket. It's not T20 cricket. It's about exposure and playing at the highest level. So IPL should be given credit. I think I would not rate anything else. I would say rest of that credit to the Indian youngsters and the background staff.
Great,
So only call out
great.
now. Now
So
just after the
I have
series was
two,
completed.
2 or 3 more. Yeah, another 10
Okay.
minutes. So
Quick call out.
okay. Yeah.
30-second call out. After the series, the only thing I tweeted about was not
Okay.
about the win of the series, but what I
Yeah.
tweeted about was the bench strength and how the Indian domestic,
Correct.
cricket has improved. How importance that they have given to giving exposure outside India for India A, and someone like Dravid being in the ranks to actually bring these guys up is
Mhm.
is the most important part of all this.
Awesome. Baski, you want
Hey,
to?
Pratik, 2 more moments I just want to call.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just adding upon to follow up to not say the bench strength was important because if you see kind of number of Indian A tours now had come up in last few years. Okay,
Yeah.
there's one guy probably always behind the screen, which is Rahul Dravid. Is one of the guys if you see who performed today on this
Yeah.
Gabba team. You see somewhere the Rahul Dravid touch is there with those guys. So he
Obvious.
played a role. Basically, he's the guy probably pitched for more Indian tours, go travel before we even for New Zealand before the senior
Correct.
team went in. Team went A when from there picked up. So that
Yeah.
exposure helped. Of course, IPL helped to face the quality bowling and all. But end of the day, for us, how the bench strength was formed is largely because of the kind of India A tours we had. We had a lot earlier
No
during
argument.
early 90s and all. When India A series, all like guys like me were excited to see. I remember seeing Saurav Dravid playing Indian series in England. I was so excited. Oh, we are saying Indian A team.
Yeah.
But over the at least for last 5 years, we see a lot of Indian tools now got adapted. People know how to bowl, how to react to situation a lot better. They're not overawed by the situation. Exception might be Nadu, but other guys were not overawed by the situation.
Fantastic. Yeah. Go on, Adi. You were about to say something.
One on the Siraj calling out the racism incident has to be mentioned.
Yeah.
And I don't think any player has went ahead and gone and called out and took the right way, instead of feeling emotional. Abdullah Alam, he took it actually right way. That one thing, and then how
So
Bumrah
Adi, in
received
that
one
same
or
flow,
two.
no, in that same flow, I would post this next question. You can actually kickstart. What, according to you, is the series defining moment?
Series defining moment for me was, you can take it both ways actually. 36 could be a moment, like Shastri
Okay.
said, that wear it
Yeah.
in your sleeves.
Wear it like a badge.
Because like that was the down. You cannot go down further than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there are two moments: the downfall and the friction, which resulted in the Rahane's 100. So I put them
Okay.
both together actually.
Fantastic.
Because அந்த லீடர் அடிக்கலன்னா உங்களுக்கு அதுக்கு மேல எதுவும் டிஃபைன் பண்ண முடியாது. So I call
Point.
36 and
Great. Junior, your serious defining moment.
My serious defining moment is Ash can't wait you to get to Gaba. Hoo hoo ha ha. Right? I think probably on the woo hoo aha nadakala abdina, I don't think Ashwin came into bat and said, I'm going to put my body on the line and do everything and anything. Probably the moment Tim Pine said that, maybe he and Vihari decided we might not play the next game. Let us give it all. And that movement probably changed everything. I think if not for the moment, they would have won it in Gaba. I felt Australian cricket was embarrassed with what Tim Payne said after all the documentary PR they did in Amazon Prime. He totally went against it. And then, in podcast, they did not have any right spirit to go to Gaba to win the game. Everything was against them. They acted like pure people who could not win, and they became jealous. They started to go to their old Australian ways, and they were not cornered by the media for not performing. They were cornered by fans and media for again going back to their old demons and not fighting them properly. So India had all the right ingredients to go to Gabba to do something, wherein Australia probably were the villain. I think, I think whoever said this, I don't remember the name. I think it was Darren Goff or Michael Wagon. Someone called this out. They said entire world was rooting for India because of what Tim Payne did in SCG. The whole world was supporting us and the whole world was against. So I think that changed everything.
Awesome. Bazkee, what is your series defining moment?
நம்ம சீரீஸ் எப்போ இந்தியா ஜெயிக்கணும் நம்ம ஃபர்ஸ்ட் எதிர்பார்க்கவே இல்லை, அதனால சீரீஸ் டிபெண்ட் ஆனது சொல்ல முடியாது. பட் எஸ், ரஹானே 100 is very very important from the perspective was that Vai as a leader leads the team. Okay, if a leader fires, the team looks different. We have spoke about this earlier. So that 100 gave some confidence to it. And last tour's test, probably we have discussed this earlier in podcast. So where is that? We got nothing to lose. Okay, we got most depleted in the world. No many batsmen, star batsmen, got nothing to lose, and the freedom to express ourselves that helped us actually in the last two test matches. So these two factors moments சொல்ல முடியாது. These two factors, one Rahane century, அவனுக்கு ஒரு கான்ஃபிடன்ஸ் கொடுத்து டீமுக்கு ஒரு கான்ஃபிடன்ஸ் கொடுத்தது, பிளஸ் the freedom of the in the last two tests, nothing to lose, any depleted track தோத்தாலும் பிரச்சனை இல்ல, அந்த attitude helped us. That actually got us through in the last two test match actually. அவ்வளவுதான்.
Okay.
Sorry,
Bazkee, I
Prasanth,
know you are also please carry on.
Good
Thanks a
catching
lot
up.
for
Thanks,
joining.
Vaidy.
Thanks, Bazkee.
Bye, Bazkee.
Vaidy, floor is yours. Series defining moment for you.
Series defining moment. I agree with Aditya, right? The thing is, after 36 all out, coming back to win a game from there is a big call out. But we didn't speak about one thing, right? One of the things that actually defined that victory in the second game was Bumrah's spell in both first innings and second innings. That actually got India or Australia out in 195 or whatever it is, right? So that's important. We need to make sure that we call that out specifically. That was a spell that was immediately after a 36 all out, right? So it was not easy for a fast bowler to come back with such a mental toughness and bowl beautifully in the first innings there.
Correct.
But having said that, the second test, Ajinkya's captaincy, how he handled it is what I would say. On a lighter note, the series defining moment was 36 all out anapro Kohli kalaminatha best.
Okay.
And
Prasanth,
the
before
most
we
beautiful
jump
moment
on
of
to
the
the
series,
next topic.
Sorry. Yeah, Junior.
I'll tell you the most beautiful moment of the series.
Sure. Yeah, Adi, go ahead.
நேதன் லைனுக்கு சட்டையில சைன் பண்ணி கொடுத்தாங்க தெரியுமா? அதுதான் சமையா இருக்கு கடைசியில. குத்திட்டு சட்டையை கொடுத்தாங்க தெரியுமா? அதான் எனக்கு ரொம்ப பிடிச்சது. ரொம்ப பியூட்டிஃபுல்லா இருக்கு. நல்ல டச். அதாவது ரஹானே கொடுத்தது. ரஹானே வந்து இப்படியே நேதன் கூப்பிடுறான், அவன் குழந்தை மாதிரி வரான் அப்படியே வாங்குறது, சட்டையை வாங்கிக்கிறதுக்கு.
Irrespective of the result that would have happened, but then after winning and in the presentation ceremony, they chose to do that was like you should have that sort of a pun, when you want to deliver a message. Here you go. This is your 100th test, but memory is ours.
That was the way he got it. The way he got it right. He got it like the வீடு தொடங்கிற துணி மாதிரி வாங்கினாங்க.
இல்ல, actually credit to Nathan Lyon. He did not give pose to the camera. Rather, he did not even see the camera. That was good of him to just take it and leave.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he called out the team and he said he appreciated the team.
Adi, the last one, okay? Another 2 minutes. But go ahead and give your views on this. Which aspect of Rahane's captaincy did you appreciate the most? Anyone can go first.
I think he really showed what a captain should be, to listen to people around him. Probably he listened to Ravi Shastri, he listened to Ashwin. He got inputs from everyone, and for him to say, I'm not the best at everything and I'm going to leverage everyone's competency around me. And then, his calm demeanor and everything, we all know about it. But it was a big change for this Indian team. There was one leader before who took all the shots. He took all the shots basically his entire life. So I don't, I cannot go against him. He has been doing that from his young age for whatever he has gone through, Kohli. So he always stuck to that. But maybe Rahane has a different perspective. So his ability to listen to experts around him, I think made a big change.
Yeah. Adi, go on. One factor, one aspect of Rahane.
ரெண்டு சொல்றேன்.
Okay, fair enough.
Outside the way he delegated leadership to the team, to different leaders, he chose them and then he gave them the responsibility and then they took care of that. and the delegation and trusting the other leaders in the team was a big deal. And second thing, personally, he didn't let his form affect the way he captains the team. And the aggression well actually. See, despite the 100, it was not like he had a tremendous series with the bat, but despite him not scoring all a ton of runs on it never affected his captaincy. Captaincy was always aggressive, always on the front foot, always trying to win. And and the inherent aggression, he never let it go. Because we always say, when a captain scores runs and then is it reflected the captaincy, he didn't let it affect it. So the delegation and the aggression, despite not being on top.
Awesome. Vaidy?
For me, okay, Vishweshwaran has called out here. Rahane is a bowler's captain. Just after the first test, Ishant Sharma very clearly voiced it out. Where he said that he's a very different captain from Kohli, and he's a bowler's captain. He listens to you what it is. So all that called out. It was very, very important. But for me, the factor was that Rahane leading a young side, which is not, when I say young, at least not an experienced side, coming out of a debacle in the first game, bringing people together and making them believe it that they can do is different level. You need a captain to do that. You need a captain to keep talking to your young team, making sure that they believe in themselves and know that what they can do is at a different level. And for you to do that, you need to trust your players to the most. And he gave that trust and space to the players very clearly. And you can see that in everything that he was doing, right? So, for example, even there were, samples where when he was giving post-match, he was very clearly saying that the interviews, he was very clearly saying that this is what the team wanted, this is what the team was doing. He knew he had to trust his team so that they can prepare or do to their potential or perform to their potential, right? He did not force things on people. At the same time, he made sure that the mental capacity of the team after the debacle was kept at as much as high as possible so that they come back strong. So it was not an easy job for a captain from that perspective. So bringing the team together and making them believe on themselves was the best part.
Awesome.
Prashant, before we conclude, when was the last time Indian team in limited overs or in a test series had a balanced 11 and made use of all the best resources we had? I cannot recollect away from home we did that even once properly. Probably what Rahane did, he looked at the 15 or 20 we had, he thought we had every resource to win anywhere. He just picked the right personnel for the right balance of the team and made sure that they performed to their best. I think I always said this, in limited overs in test cricket, we have talent in abundance. The way we make use of it is shambles. Probably this captain really changed the corner and said, fine, I'm going to make use of the best I have, and the best is enough to beat Australia in Australia. Simple.
Fantastic. Great. Yeah.
And ego illa.
Go on, Adi. Yeah. Totally, I agree with you.
How are you going to do this? It's not just me.
Correct. Great, guys. I really enjoyed listening to your viewpoints. Hope you all enjoyed with respect to, reliving the moments from a different angle rather than, just talking about it. I just wanted to bring in a structure. Hope you all liked it. And
it's such a series that I wouldn't mind talking about it for the next 1 year also.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. And not to forget, people who are viewing it, there are a couple of YouTube links that I have posted in my description. Cricket Fan Zone, Adi and Junior have been regular visitors in my channel. Their YouTube link is also there. Please go ahead and subscribe to their channel and also to my channel. Trying to do something new as always, and keep expecting new initiatives from this.
I will close it out with an open-ended question. We might do a pod about this. This might not be about Indian cricket, but this is about what happened to Australian team. Because I went through all the highlights from 2010 to 2020 in the last 2 days. I've never seen a full-strength Australian team not score 500, 550. There is something really wrong with the team. Maybe we can discuss about that.
A great one. We'll definitely do that. Thanks a lot, guys. Ending the broadcast here.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.